Using Zoom effectively. In this video, we will help Elmo learn how to use Zoom properly. First, let's have him sit properly. This is not the correct way to sit. This is the correct way to be seated. Elmo logs into Zoom and this is what we see. As you can tell, the mic is muted and the video is off. The only thing we can see is his name. The blue arrow points to the button to start your video. As soon as you log into Zoom, make sure that your video is on. Please remember that you must have your video on at all times. This is not optional. The red arrow points to the button to unmute yourself. Please remain muted unless you need to participate or you need to ask a question. You must be muted until you need to speak. This will reduce the distractions for everyone in the class, including your peers and also your teachers. We understand that some houses will be a little louder than others, so please be mindful of that. Now Elmo turns on his camera and we see this. As you can tell, this is not the ideal picture that we need from Elmo. The first thing that Elmo notices is that you can see everything around him. Elmo is scared that you see his family walking around. Adding a virtual background is also an option. It can be a neutral background. So he puts a virtual background so you don't see the distractions in the back. We tell Elmo to fix his camera because we cannot see him. And then he ends up moving the camera and we see this. As you can tell, we are not able to see his face. We tell Elmo once again that he needs to fix his camera. We tell him that we need to see all of his face, at least from the shoulders up. As you can see, Elmo in this picture is actually in the center of the camera. Since he's a puppet, he doesn't occupy a lot of space in the camera. Something that you need to be very mindful of is that lighting is crucial. We need to make sure that we are able to see you. In this picture, Elmo looks like he's in the witness protection program, but he's not. So it's important that he turns on his light. We need to be able to see you clearly to see if you have any questions. In this one, we can clearly see that Elmo is confused. If you're shy about raising your hand, at least looking at your face will help us determine whether you need the extra help or if we should slow down. In this picture, you can see that Big Bird and Elmo are in a Zoom conference together. The two gray arrows are pointing to the participants and the chat. Make sure that the participants list and the chat is always open. This will allow you to raise your hand. If you look to the green arrow, it's pointing to an option that says raise hand. As soon as you raise your hand, a blue hand will appear next to your name. Once you are called, you can actually unmute yourself and give your answer or ask your question. Once you have participated, make sure to mute yourself again. We tell Elmo once again that he needs to fix his camera. We tell him that we need to see all of his face, at least from the shoulders up. As you can see, Elmo in this picture is actually in the center of the camera. Since he's a puppet, he doesn't occupy a lot of space in the camera. If you have any other question about Zoom, please contact your teachers.